good morning, good morning. This is the weekly bulletin on Srtv. Daddy Chris is here from Srtv London. And as usual, I have my team joining me from Srtv Abuja and Edo. Delta might have excused herself today. From next week, ladies and gentlemen, I know we don't have gentlemen in the press, but we're talking to the world. From next week, viewers, we're going to have SRTV Lagos joining this platform. I can't wait to see them. Again, what do we do on this show today? This is where we look at what has happened within the week. What are the top news really? What do we take from what has happened? What do we need to learn? What do we need to prepare for the week ahead? How about that? I do know that a lot has happened in Edo State. Edo State, the election there, the heartbeat of the nation, they are really hitting the nation hard. They are beating us here, left, right. Obaseki is pumping, and the other one is pumping, and we heard that there might be deflection from PDP to APC. We're going to take a look at that closely today. Not only that, you guys are aware that a lot is also happening within the political arena. But let me keep some of them hidden so that as we unfold, as we look at the newspaper, we'll take a look at all of them. But I think one of the things we cannot ignore this week is the unfortunate incident that happened in Hollywood, which led to the death of some prominent actors and crew who were on board. Lesson learned. But we really need to answer one big question. And I know I came on the platform and I was defending the producers as a whole. I wasn't defending the activity or the action of one person. I was talking about the importance of producers in an economic sector. I always believe that anywhere I go, everywhere I stay, I talk about one thing: wealth creation. African inability to create wealth is why we are here. Somebody has demonstrated this in the then United States of America, which led to the liberation of the whole black race till tomorrow. It's what the action of Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey got to America far back then, discovered that there's a lot of money within the black community, but actually, because they couldn't come together, they remained slaves. They only look for love because they could not create their wealth. You see, when we say they couldn't come together, what were they coming together? They do come together to dance. They do come together to eat. They did not come together to create wealth. So when people say to you, I want to go to a gathering, the question you ask them, is that gathering for creating wealth? That is the question I'll be asking anybody as we move on this show today. But let me quickly introduce you to my guests. Abuja, these guests have been away. Look at their faces. They've been away. Where have you guys been? Tell the audience. Because you guys, did you get married, come back, or what happened?
We've been working on SRTV projects. Soon we'll be advertising our projects and creating awareness about it. It's all about SRTV. That is what has actually kept us away.
Yeah, SRTV.
All right, that's good. So these guys have some secret things they're going to unveil. Mary Vale, she always know how to. She's a Valentine girl. She's a lover girl. If you don't know her name is Mary Val. Mary Val means Mary Valentine. Is it?
Yes, lover girl. We love her.
The lover girl. The lover girl. Look at her. Well, I know. She's grown up. When Mary came to SRTV, she was like a child. When I saw her yesterday,
Oh my god.
Anyway, there's the other one from Benway. You know Benway people, there's a way they do their things. Benway, what's going on?
We are fine. We are working on SRTV project and we are looking forward to unveiling it very soon, sir.
We can't wait to see that. We hope we see that by next week. Anyway,
sure.
All right, good. As usual, we have Edo, the heartbeat of the nation. Princess is here. You know one funny thing about these Edo people? You know, I always say they are the heartbeat of the nation. They have a way of beating this nation. Wherever they take us, that's where we go. What is going on, heartbeat? So many things happening in your state. In only that small state, Edo. What did they happen? Tell us.
We are beating hard. We are beating hard. We are keeping the nation alive. Don't be hard as a heart, a healthy heart. So, in the political sector, we have fireworks. It's going to be a very interesting election, the way things are panning out. By the end of today, we'll confirm some rumors we're hearing that some founding fathers of Edo PDP are defecting to the APC. That's we'll confirm it by the end of today anyway, if that's correct.
Okay.
Then as those news was going on, flying around, PDP also had some news out too that some people, some chieftains of the APC are planning to defect to the PDP. So for today's own, we hear that there's a massive defection today. So by the end of today, or maybe as the show progresses, we'll be able to confirm that today. And
Yeah.
if that is true, man, it's going to be
Ah,
very interesting.
you guys are the heartbeat. Whenever you beat, we'll dance with you. You know the funniest thing, eh? And though you guys have a way of doing this, and we're watching, we're watching. We can't wait. And I think we might be lucky to have a guest from Edo to talk through all this as well with us. Luckily,
Yes,
Princess
we
is
are, we are expecting him.
all right. Data is here with us as well. Princess, how are you? Your phone is on
I'm
mute.
fine. Good morning, Daddy Chris.
Morning. So how is Delta State? Are you
As
guys
usual,
okay?
Delta is coming today.
Everything is okay, right?
Delta
Yeah,
is calm. Delta
Delta
is
is fine.
all right.
All right. I always say in my place, they say if you reach Emona, greet to our governor, sheriff, because we want to see more action coming from that state. Anyway, this is weekly bulletin. You all know how we do it. This is where we take a look at some of the happenings in the country. Over the week, let's take a brief look at what has happened. We do see, we witnessed the unfortunate incident that happened in Delta, Strukanambra State, the death of most popular Junior Pope and the rest. And what is the latest in that area? I will leave that with Princess in Delta. Where are we exactly? Has there been investigation? Is there government new? Is there new things that are happening, or they just going to be buried? Because last time you told us that they said the community where I mean, if you die by the riverside, you must be buried by that riverside. I don't know whether that is still in place. What is really going on? As have the body been laid to rest? Or is there any plan to? Are we? Is there any government saying no? We will not allow this to happen again. What is going on, Princess?
Okay. So far, when such a thing, is something like this happen, of course, you're going to be hearing a lot of stories, a lot of, accusations, and of course, a lot of talks from different corners, and that's what we've been seeing. But he has not been buried yet. Of course, some of these things are not truly fully confirmed, but that the priestess, the Anam River, where the incidents are actually occurred, they're insisting that yeah, if they're supposed to make that the river goddess is angry and all that, they're supposed to buy two cows to appease the river, and that of course he's supposed to be buried beside that water. We know that two of the victims are actually been buried beside the water. I know of the makeup artist; she has been buried there, but I don't know about the other one where he was buried. But Junior Pope is still there. He's not been buried, and a lot of issues have been actually been coming up. The artists, the producers, the superstars, the actors accusing one another. Uh, but we know that the producer, somebody came that he did say he wanted to say something before he died, a date to that day. And so, like I said, a lot will actually be coming up. But the police also said they are already probing, they're already investigating, and we know that the producer of the movie, Adam Maluk, already surrendered herself to the police authorities as well. And so, but the police promised, while condoling with the industry, did promise that they are going to, carry out the investigation and, of course, make sure that they know what actually happened. And but I saw a story this morning. I don't know how true is that the pilot of the boat did say what happened. That he actually asked because he noticed that he's such a big superstar. Why did you not? Why you not? He noticed that the guy is scared of water, so he did ask Junior, but why are you not wearing? Why didn't you rent or get a life jacket? And Bob said, that I don't have money for that. Why didn't the producer bring all that for us with our money. I don't have money. That was what he said, according to the person who actually pilot the boat. And of course, we saw a trending video as well that is very disturbing of ticket virus. That is Tochukwu Okafor, one of the survivor. I saw the video that is trending where he actually stood on that boat. That is after Junior Pope's video. He stood and he was trying to do, I don't know whether he was making evasion and all that, but he was holding a bell, ringing the bell. He was not wearing a top. And, I bet that was after he must have thrown the Fanta and threw the money into the river. So he was actually ringing the bell, standing and sitting and all that. So I think we do recall also that they wanted to arrest him that morning over their allegation. Adama claimed that the boat rider said she this guy was blocking him, and as at that time the thing happened, he couldn't see the other boat that was coming towards them. But the question, my younger sister would just ask me a question just a while ago, that sister, but why didn't the other boats, is it that other people too were busy? How come they didn't see this one to at least make way for them? I said that these are the issue. When accident wants to happen, sometimes just very little something can cause serious damage. You never can tell. And I never knew. Maybe I'm ignorant when it comes to that because I don't like water. I don't want to do anything with water. And so I never knew maybe the pilot used to be the last person behind. I
Yeah,
actually thought they used to be at the front.
no, it's
But
always
this
the last person at
particular
the
one
back.
is as if,
It's at the back.
yes, this the person is yes, is at the back. So I now understand why he was saying the guy kept standing and sitting and blocking and all that. But anyway, we saw a producer also this morning very angry, a video that he's saying that what happened is not what the producer Stanley came to tell the public. Pope actually died when he was brought out, but they took him to, when the people came to do sacrifice, the herbalist now said that their spirit is back in their body, they are okay, they can be taken to the hospital. So, sir, a lot of stories already coming out, and it's really scary, and it's heartbreaking at the same time. We also saw a trendy video of a nurse who actually posted the wife that she's unconscious since the incident. And I don't know, the quest for fame, the quest for contact is actually throwing into people, a lot of people into, a lot of family into problem, and people doing things they shouldn't do. And sometimes I ask, if you are to be in this person's condition, somebody is doing this, instead of rescuing you or trying to help, what would be your reaction? So I think people actually have lost the ethics of social media
Uh, uh,
and
normally,
so it's terrifying. A lot is still happening. We're seeing a lot also, unfolding.
normally what we do in the UK, and I think everywhere in the world, is for the family to say they should give them some time to grieve, and which is normal. Princess, your network is your sound is off. Yeah, they always say maybe if it's time to call for to respect the wife, not to go and again film the poor woman wherever she's grieving and putting her on the public display. What use is that? We really need all that. Does the public need all that? Because you bring things that the public need to hear. Is there, what use telling us how the poor woman is suffering? We know she's going to suffer, but again, put her into more condition and put her to more scrutiny. Maybe you're going to see one or two reasons why you're going to criticize her in this difficult time. Please, let's respect those who are grieving. It's very important at this difficult time. Well, that is what we can see from that's still unfolding. That unfortunate incident, we hope. But Princess, what happened? I know things happen and one happen on another. You've abandoned the Koma people, they are forgotten, they are left to die, or something new is happening there as well.
No, the Okoma issue is still there. So, like Daddy Chris, yesterday we did talk about it as well. It has become everyday topic, and of course, I really want to applaud Vanguard for doing this job, taking it upon themselves. They're always giving us updates as regarding to Okoma. and other private medias that actually, doing this. The people are still there, and I actually saw a report this morning that say why Urobo youths don't want to be part of the investigation that the army is now conducting. So I wanted to ask Blessed if that is a decision of the house, but he has not picked call, and so I will get back to you on that. But like I said, the people are still there. The letter is not that they've not actually responded to the letter, so they are not able to get it. People are not able to access the community as well, while the residents are still appealing to the government through the reporter that went there, and through the very few people that have been able to go to the forest to please pardon them. They really want to go back home, even if there is nothing, of course, to go back to. But there is this, sense of feeling or belonging that comes when you are in your fatherland. And so they've been appealing as well that they want to return home, even though we know that the church building is the only thing standing in Okoma right now.
Ah, all right.
The army also yesterday raised the community, burning houses, and of course, they
Another
arrested
community.
10 persons, another community. And this is why a lot of community are not giving help aid to these people that are actually caged in the forest. The fear of the army coming to also,
Attack.
trouble them. I guess that's the reason.
Well, anyway, we'll keep that on the burner. We hope that please come back to that community soon. We pray that the governor of Delta State do all the kind, the international community, the NGOs, local and international, come together to provide some kind of aid to these people in this difficult time of the needs. We'll be taking a look at that and we'll be sharing that with the audience here on SRTV as we go on. For those of you that doesn't know, few weeks ago, the community, some set of soldiers, military men from Nigerian Army visited this community in the name of that they went there to make peace. I don't know whatever peace they had to make. There was trouble and some of these men were killed. And from that day, the army carried out the reprisal. The community has been wiped down. People have been killed. We don't know the numbers yet. We're not allowed to enter the community. That's been the position. But the most important thing we say now is those who are displaced, they're still in the bush, no food, snake bite, and all that. It's a very distressing situation. We pray that we're able to, that we all come together and say, not in the 21st century, let's address this. But that is something we'll keep addressing on this platform as we move on. But let's quickly look at what is going on in Edo before we take a look at the dailies today, because a lot. Listen, Edo State, we know you, and we know we don't want to hear again. We know you people are good at killing your deputy. Oh, you guys didn't kill him. You just depose him. Okay, you just remove him because he was. You know what I heard from one of the barristers that joined us here. He revealed government secrets by going to the court. So if somebody seek redress in court, that is amounts to government secret revealed and he has been removed and it's now been it's now that is why it was removed from office. Well, uh, we know that if there's more you can tell us, but what really interests us today now is what is going on in Edo State. Is the election going to be free and fair? Because if you already start by deposing somebody who want to just contest to primaries, what kind of election should we expect from the state? If this kind of battle is going on within the political parties, they're supposed to be family, people that share the same ideology, brothers and sisters hoping to win an election. If you guys can do that to yourself, what kind of things are you going to do to the state? That's just a question, Princess.
Daddy Chris, with all due respect, this battle you are referring to is within one political party, and that sect is not INEC. INEC is the one in charge of conducting elections. So we are going to have a free and fair election because that is an independent matter. So the issue on ground is simply a PDP matter. It's an in-house struggle and tussle. It's normal everywhere.
But you said you did mention that it's like PDP have another in-house battle. which they're now moving to APC. Are they not moving the same trouble to APC? Because when you see when you have a stain here and the stain move to the other side, he carries the blood with you, he carries the mark with you. Are they not carrying their trouble to APC at this point? Who's going to
Sir,
benefit in all this? Sincerely, who is going to benefit in all this with what you've seen?
sir, from my own experience so far, our Nigerian politics, we do not. There are no, the party divide is not visible. It's not very clear. And with the last election, the last gubernatorial election, the party divide here has further disintegrated. Then with the presidential election, it is practically very thin. So what we'll just see is personal interest, people's interests aligning, not any other thing. Right now, the PDP, they had already been split into two, because we are talking about staying, people moving from here to here. Do not forget that our present governor Baseki and his deposed deputy came from APC into PDP, and when they came in, it was like carrying a house with its foundation into another person's compound and placing it there. That was what happened.
We call it
So as
trespass.
soon as
They trespass. They were just trespassing. They didn't go there for anything. They are still trespassing. So they should.
well, I,
Yeah.
I don't know, but what I know is that when Obaseki defected, he defected with his own structure, with his own structure into the PDP, and there had been tussles since he moved in. So it's not now that they had this issue. So you now had two different parties. You now had the new PDP and what they now call the Legacy Party. The Legacy Party is where all those stakeholders, founding fathers of the PDP are, like Danobi and the rest. So they have not been able to come to a common ground because the PDP Legacy Party believe that as you have come in as a governorship aspirant or candidate, however, we as the original PDP should be able to provide you a deputy. But the governor said no, he was going to stick with his own deputy. Then they now looked at it that, okay, let us have the SSG. And he said no, he was retaining his own structure, where we now had the governor, we had Philip Shaibu as the deputy, and we had Barrister Saudi Oge Esquire as the um, secretary to the state government. So now the Legacy Party did not have anybody in the first four of the government, and they had to still struggle for space. I think from their complaints, like 80% of the appointments that this government has done is from his
From the new
new
PDP.
yeah, the new PDP. Now inside this new PDP, we also had issues. All the local government chairmen were thinking that they were going to be returned, but like practically all of them did not come back. So even the new PDP, there are some aggrieved parties involved. That's where we saw the other time that 5 former local government chairmen defected from the APC and went from the PDP and went back to the APC. So now what we are having now is that the legacy party, the legacy group inside the PDP, that's the old PDP, most of their stakeholders, some of them, high ranking of them, are planning to defect to the APC today. So this division of coming here, going here, it's just that there is interest. They don't feel like they feel oppressed, and they feel like at least you have done your 4 years. Let us go back to what we used to be and bring our own candidates, the real PDP. But they are feeling like after they've accepted Obaseki, accepted many suppression or oppression, he wants to bring in his own person, as in it's like there
The
will be
new
no hope for them
you
again.
want to plant again.
Yeah.
You want to plant the new governor,
Yes,
the new deputy, the
yes,
new
from the new,
SSG, the
yes,
new this, the new
yeah,
commissioner. That's
yes,
what they do. Basaki, would they
yeah.
hear you? Uh,
So they are feeling oppressed and they feel like they can't breathe. So they want to go over to the APC and add their strength there. So that's what we have for today. But everybody, as far as the political divide is concerned, all I know is that it's where they are most comfortable in that they go to. Like the deputy now is planning on going back to the APC where he originally came from. So he wants to go back there now that he has been impeached and all that. So
would they
we've been
accept him
having
there?
during the week, he went to visit the state chairman of the PDP, and there was a protest from APC youth and concerned stakeholders that they don't want the deputy governor. But we just saw another report now from the national APC that if the PDP, the post deputy governor wants to come back to the APC, that they will welcome him.
And that would be the baptism for him, really. Because, Princess, you remember when you told us that the then APC chairman said, if you deflect, if you join the APC, your sins are forgiven. Should we be expecting that here, Princess?
I don't know
Came
which sin.
from Adam Oshomole.
That's Adam Oshomole,
Go
right?
ahead.
He said, okay, go on. So he's going for, is he looking for my sins to be forgiven? Because there are little things you can do. I don't have power. Obaseki is most powerful local. I'm going to go to the federal and I'm going to be stronger. That may be the wise thing to do. Perhaps he should have done that
There's no
long ago.
space. There's no space in the federal. There's no space. There's no space because
The question is, if APC accept him, at least his sins will be forgiven. This whole court saga now, trying to put the man in prison, he might be forgiven because these guys they're in power. They're not only in government, they're in power. Like Oshomole is still there. Maybe Oshomole is waiting to receive him back and say, okay, your sins are not forgiven. Mr. Forgiving of sin. Oshomole, we're coming to that another day. But anyway, let's quickly go and look at some of what we have today so that maybe we can take a look at some of the papers as well. But Abuja, before you run us through some of the papers, what I wanted to ask is, those of you in Abuja, Wike is still there. Because from what I'm hearing, let's give credit to Wike. I learned that the bridge, I mean that big road from the Apple, and that road has been completed, so people can use it now. Is that true?
They are working on it. They are still working on it. They're not done with all the road, but some parts.
But they've done a very, because that's another nightmare. It's in Lagos when you get there. I remember I refused to go to that part of Abuja. Anyway, let's take a look at what we have today. So Wike is working. That's what I wanted to ask. Wike is working.
He's working on the road.
Other than oppressing his governor, he's working in Abuja. Would it be fair to say that?
He is. He's working on the roads, and people are commending him for that.
For the road. Okay. We can keep doing the good road work, but hey, and another thing we want to say, I'm gonna focus on that at some point, Princess. We want to see this new Calabar Lagos road. It looks like it's a new, it's something to be proud of as a country. You understand that there's a big expressway coming from Lagos to Calabar. If that is done, that may be a way to go. You know, it's something. And this current Minister of Works, I know him. He's a good guy. He's an engineer, and he knows what he's doing. He would like to deliver a good road, and that I know Umahi for. I don't like Umahi because I think he's another political, what I call a nuisance. But otherwise, I think that would be a good project.
Yes, talking about that road, there was a particular news yesterday. I don't know if I can still quickly access it, that says the minister, of course, federal government is spending, is it 4 billion naira on one? That's why I want to be sure before I don't know if it's let me quickly, you can go ahead. When I see it, I'll bring us back to it.
Okay.
And so I was trying to do the calculation yesterday.
The amount of money that they're going to spend there, yeah?
The amount of money on a particular section is quite huge.
Yes. Okay. And the number, we'll see that. Nigeria is always over budgeting, and what a country we have. God bless us so much, and we have so much money. The truth is, that country is so much money, and the hope of Africa. We need to do this right. Let's take a look at the dailies today, so that we can do some justice to all of them.
The big headline on the Punch: How I collected $3 million in cash for Emefiele, dispatch rider third court. Explains how he picks up $1 million, $850 million.
Am I the right paper?
$1 million. I'm on the Punch.
Yes. Is it the right Punch? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
No, that is not the right Punch, sir.
Yes. Must be the wrong one. All right, go on. We may not have that one on the I must have mistakenly.
Okay, you don't have today's one.
I should have it, but obviously it's not the one I have on the flyer on the on the on the display. You know, sometimes I have these too many things on my system. So when you send to me, I just put any punch I see. I must have punched the wrong punch today. But let's take a look at what we have today on the punch.
Okay. The big headline. How I collected $3 million in cash for Emefiele. Dispatch rider thirst courts. Explains how he paid 1 million, how he picked up $1 million, $850 million, $750 million, $400 million for ex-CBN governor. Says Emefiele never rewarded him. Case adjourned to April 29. And we have a story at the top that says federal government traces fleeing Binance executive to Kenya. And you can find that story on page 4. Interpol, EFCC commence extradition. FBI on red alert. And other story you can find on page 4 of the Punch newspaper. Junior Pope, ill-fated movie producer Rick Span says DGN president. And that story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And there's a story that says a mixed reaction true, but risky 6 months prison sentence. And that's on page 19 of the Punch newspaper. And we have another story that says a hospital detains my wife, newborn triplets over unpaid bills. Physical challenge photographer.
Oh God.
Facing
What a country.
uncertain future. Donsomu market fire victim. Counts losses in hard times. And you can find that story on page 21 of the Punch newspaper. How I broke family tradition with first class degree. This is coming from a bricklayer. And you can find that story on page 24 of the Punch newspaper. 7 drowned in Lagos within a week, says PPRO. And these are all the stories we have this morning on the Punch.
Well, I know I'm trying to trivialize some issues this morning, but how can somebody that is what? But the image here is distressing. They are actually disabled, from what I can see. How hospital detained my wife, newborn triplet, over unpaid bills. What's your position? One will say, "Oh, if you don't have money, why trying to make new babies? Because who's going to take care of them?" But another thing is, can we live in a society where disabled are cared for? One, and number two, hey, a child born is an asset to a nation. Are we saying we have too many kids or we don't want more? Is there a national policy towards that? Do we really need to take care of hospital bills, healthcare as a priority in Nigeria? And that's something I really want to hear you ladies talk about this morning. Healthcare. If you see American election, when Clinton's wife was coming, she was building all her campaign on the healthcare. And in the UK, we have healthcare. You see, no matter what you do in the UK, the least challenge you have would be to treat yourself. That's one thing the NHS has done well for us. I mean, you might not be very 100% satisfied with the services, but hey, if you are ill in the United Kingdom, the least trouble you have is getting treatment. If you can go to the A&E and you sit down there, you will be treated. And if you have a wife to put to bed, in fact, you're free, man. And your child growing up to some extent is free. When is our system going to address this critical area of our life? For somebody now, a disabled person, having triplet, which is too much. Of course, they didn't plan it, but they don't hit the ball. The goal don't happen. What do we do as a country? The man play ball, and a serious goal. 3 ones. But those 3 kids might be an asset to the country. If we don't treat it right now, there can be a problem. How do we address this, young ladies? Let's hear from Edo Delta. Look, let's hear from Edo Princess. Let's hear from you. What do we do? Because what's your position when it comes to giving? Because Nigerian population is a lot already. Let me pursue it from that angle, which is we are approaching 300 million. I know they say we are 200, which is a big lie. We are approaching 300 because the rate one and they do the thing they produce every day. So and these triplets don't come now. How we want take care? Make we stop. Make we say make we do like China, one person, one child, or we should keep producing so that we can be more than China and India and have the population Africa need.
My opinion, My opinion is that I always say that we should be responsible citizens. You should be responsible citizens when you already know that you are going to have a baby in 9 months time approximately. You know, and you go for antenatal. You've done scans. You know you're expecting three babies. You know your birth options. Is it normal delivery? Is it CS? You know how much it will cost you. You should make provision for it. The hospitals that you are talking about, as it is now, they have to pay bills. They have consumables to sort out. If there's no policy that right now that covers all medical health and all those fair and all those stuff, you know before you took yourself there, you know you have to pay bills. When they even try, they attended to you, you did not pay. Then you've given birth now, they should just allow you go. If that's how everybody comes, it's business now. It's health business. If that's how everybody comes and go, the place would have shut down. You would not even see
But
somewhere to enter.
that's what we have in the UK. Oh. We have that in the UK.
That
In
is
fact, they will
Nigeria,
take
sir.
care
We
of
are in
you.
Nigeria. Sir, we are in Nigeria.
Can we think of
And
being like
we are,
UK?
sir,
We don't go
you
compete
asked
with it.
a question
Not
that
that
We are
you
not
are
you
up to
asked
wearing,
a
UK
question.
standard.
Sir,
We are
I'm
not up
you
to
are
getting
wearing
UK
there.
UK
standard.
clothes now.
Sir,
Princess,
I'm
you are
getting
just
there.
like
I'm
a
getting
British
there.
woman
I'm
now.
getting there.
Okay,
I'm getting there.
all right.
This is what we have. This is the situation on ground when you finally got pregnant. That situation on ground. Now, there are schemes you can arrange. Look at where your money can afford. You have state hospitals, the general hospitals they call them. Then you have the teaching hospitals. They are not as expensive as the private hospitals. Look for better options that you can afford. Then there is the NHIS, private contributor scheme. I used it for one of my children. And I was in the hospital for 5 days, and my bill was outrageously tiny, as in the other person that went to pay and when my husband went to clear my bills, he was shocked. I used it. I think then I paid them 14,500. It was for a year. And imagine throughout my antenatal, I didn't pay a dime. And then I had a C-section, and I stayed in the hospital for 5 days, and my bill was outrageously very small, because you have to look at your options, look at your pocket. They did not look at their birth control methods. You say you want to give birth, and you should be responsible. If at the onset you cannot be responsible for the bills, I don't know how you are going to be responsible for those children. So I know the government today, there's NHIS. It is there. It is there. It can be accessed by anybody. In Edo, there is EHIS, Edo Health Insurance Scheme. They even have pay as you pay as you go insurance health insurance scheme for
That would
market
be
women. I
nice.
think
Yeah. Yes.
100 naira be 150 a day. There's a very small money, so anybody can access it. So what we are saying is perhaps the government is not doing as much as the UK government, but there are things in place. It's just that our people don't like information, and they don't like to do it. There are things in place, and if you're a responsible person, you want to bring a child into the world, and this is the situation we are in, you need to pay your hospital bills, and you should
Be ready.
plan for it. You have 9 months to do that. That they now arrest your child. You are a disabled person now. Arrest you not disabled. You do give woman belle. You should be
Uh-huh.
responsible. If you
Uh,
know that you cannot pay
Princess,
for them, you should meet the hospital management. There are ways you do things. You meet the hospital management. You write. You appeal to them. You know, and business
yeah,
now.
I agree. Uh, I'm going to talk about insurance briefly here.
uh,
I,
yes, Princess, I agree with you to an extent. When you say people should be responsible, fine, people should actually be responsible. But sometimes there are unforeseen circumstances. I've worked in the hospital before. And I tell you the truth, NHIS is not for everybody. It's not everybody that is able to access NHIS. And when you talk about the scheme in your state, you will be shocked that a lot of people are not aware. Nigerians, they actually like free something. Nigerians, they usually jump and things like that. And sometimes when you talk about our government hospitals, are you aware that you will see a very critical issue and the government hospital will refer you out of that hospital? I have seen not one, not even 10. I worked in the hospital for a very long time as a media, the media aid to the CEO of the hospital, the director. And so I know what I'm telling you for free in Abuja. And sometimes these people actually have plans. I've seen somebody that actually they are just, Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians. They are just, of course, they got married and she got pregnant after having two kids. And when she got pregnant, she didn't know, of course, like Daddy Chris said, you don't play the ball, you don't score, and at two. And so the guy was complaining to me that, oh, he didn't bargain for this, even this one. The wife was insisting that, okay, there should be one more, and then they stopped, they do a family planning. So now it's two. The guy was really bitterly complaining. And I said, well, you cannot blame yourself. If it comes out as twins, you should be grateful as well. And the lady was actually going for antenatal. They were affording the abuse. They were doing everything. The same hospital, government hospital, one of the biggest in Abuja. They have been going there. Everything was fine. And days to when she will put to bed, something happened. It's human body. Anything can happen. You don't have control over your body. Things can just happen. And then something happened, and they have to refer her from Gariki Hospital. And so imagine somebody in that condition. They didn't bargain for that. They didn't budget for that as well. Not like they didn't have some money, of course, because they know this is a government hospital, and I don't have to, and there was nothing like CS in the initial plan. I don't know how they do all those things, but I was aware of that issue, and it was an emergency. I saw another one as well. She was being referred from government hospital to private, to another government, to private, until she died. So sometimes, I'm just saying, I've never given birth, so I don't know, but I'm saying that I've worked in the hospital from my experience. Things happen. Doctor can tell you something now, and another minute your body reacts or something changes, and you don't know what. At that point, they start running, head scatter, just to make sure that they keep your life or the life of the babies safe. And so sometimes also we know that NHIS is not a scheme that everybody just go there. I want to be NHIS. Depends on where you're working, and of course depends on what you do, because the hospital actually
But perhaps,
There's the private contributor scheme. There's the NHIS where you have only federal staff can access. But there's what I'm talking about is the private
of the
contributor
network
scheme.
challenge. Yes, I
Yes.
understand that people should be responsible, and people should be responsible. And of course, I'm on your side, Princess. But I'm just trying to say sometimes things could
this will happen. Yes,
I'm not
princess,
removing the fact that
princess.
things can happen. But let's
Yes,
be clear on that NHIS so that people are aware. There is
yes.
something called private contributor
that
scheme.
no.
Yes, when I
How
assessed
many people
NHIS,
are aware of this scheme? That's another
And princess,
had the
yeah,
scheme
now
in your
let
own
me say
state. You'll be
something.
shocked that when you go
When I
a
talk,
lot
when
of
I
these
talk,
market people are
when
not
I
aware. A lot
when I
of these
bring
people are not aware as well.
okay, princess, let me quickly say something here. Before I come on the show this morning, I really want you guys to try and get why this is so painful. I ask, why is it that the UK banks can give you loan at 7% maximum? The government make sure it is not. There's no bank that will give you a loan here of 20 something percent. It's against the law. All right. So, but in Nigeria, if they want to give you a 50%, why? Then the guy said, an expert. I need to bring him on this show. He said the solution is insurance. And I said, how? He said, do you know how many people in the UK? All of us have life insurance. Meaning I pay every month towards my life insurance. I don't need this money until I die. I don't know when I'm going to die. That residual money is there. So there is a pot of money kept there. Everybody's not going to die at the same time. So there's money to be given out. So you are not desperate. What we're doing in Nigeria is gambling. There is no insurance. So that brings us to this scheme you talk about now. If the insurance is made compulsory, you drive a car in Nigeria. I know now you guys now have insurance for your car, but not everywhere. If you need insurance, insurance is too important. It does not only secure the next person or what you're going to do yourself. It provides a fund, a pot of money for the country to live on or for that sector to live on. And I'm trying to approach that in Hollywood. So it is very important that what Princess is saying, that it's crucial that we understand the benefit of insurance. And this is something you cannot preach. It cannot be overemphasized. You know, in the UK here, we say go and put your money, buy lottery, £1. And when I pay for lottery here, I'm not looking at the winning the money. But even the £1 I drop, I know it is going for community development because bulk of the lottery money is given back for good causes. If you have a project, you need money, you apply to lottery money, they give to you to do your good project. So you are not losing when you pay £1 for a lottery. Because you're not going to win. There's 1 million chance you're not going to win. But some people pay every day for lottery. £1, it's not a lot. But that £1, imagine what it does. It's a pot of money somewhere that people cannot tap on. So there are some schemes in place that a society must have. So the money here is not only coming from the government. It's coming from sectors like this. We need insurance. Nigerians need insurance. And I cannot overemphasize the need for insurance. When you see bad news like this or miserable news like this, it's hardly it's difficult to take it. But we're gonna move to them because a lot. I don't know whether you want to say something quickly, but I have a lot on this paper. One, Bobrisky, they send him for 6 months. Again, that is a bias. I know I don't like gay. I'm not a gay person, I'm not a fan of it. But what has the man done? Is it the money laundering? How many people have tramped on the naira?
I think it's
the case of the money laundering was actually ruled out yesterday by the judge. So he's being, sentenced for, naira abuse, which I think is not even called for. This is very unfair. I've never liked him. I've never been his fan. I don't follow him. I don't even want to see him. But I just think this is unfair. People will always say, no, they have to start from somewhere. But we have so many people actually,
even the boy that is accusing him, basis. Portable all this money. All Nigeria does is
on a daily basis, matching money. So many things, and all of a sudden you're sentencing him for a naira abuse. Meanwhile, they even ruled out money laundering on that judgment. So I think this is there's something they are not even telling us, and I just feel if it's for that reason, then it's very unfair. That's my sincere opinion.
No, I mean, we should tell the West. I heard this wonderful submission from a Ghanaian today, telling Americans that, hey, your culture, if you want to practice your gay, keep it in your country. We have right not to practice gay. You know the truth, Africans, we need to wake up. And I say this again, when I want to talk about how Americans abuse us, I refer them to Saudi. In Saudi Arabia, if you are gay, it's punishable by death. Not life imprisonment alone. They'll kill you. In fact, if you say you are gay, they will stone you to death. In Saudi. But America is doing business with them. They don't complain of human rights there. They don't tell them you must have gay in your country. Yeah, they were telling good luck. They were telling us we must practice gays. No. We can tell them this is not our culture. If the majority of us say no, we can say it's not our culture. We don't want to practice it. But putting this poor man, I don't know. I don't call him a girl because it's not a girl in my book. Putting this poor man in prison is something that I don't buy. I mean, if it's abuse of naira, tell us why you put him in prison because he's corrupting our girls. I agree, or corrupting our boys. I don't even understand what a guy can see in a guy. Anyway, that's me. Maybe it's a different thing for those that see things differently. Princess, you are smiling.
Good thing though. On a lighter note, he did. The judge actually asked him yesterday, "Are you a male or a female?" And he said, "Yes, I'm a man. I'm a male actually." So, I think that's the funny part.
He's a male, and a male in that form is stupid. Anyway, he should be able to defend his femininity. Then, if he said if a female, he's been parading himself as female, poking men, then he should. Man, that guy, he needs some of the things he's getting.
Direct is actually about the money.
He's parading this thing too much. He's making it so obvious. It's not something we practice in Nigeria. Until that time, he should stop. He should control himself. Until then, Bobrisky, we don't practice it now. Maybe our children will. But right now, this is our generation. We are not equipped. We are not that we're mental. If you get what you go through at this my brain, you not go work. No matter what you do, you not go work. So give me time to assimilate it. I beg. I know they laugh. Tell us what happened. I do. What happened? Tell us.
Nothing happen though. If you want cool off, they want make cool off. Paying cool off now. Just six
Have
months,
we?
it doesn't come out.
You know what? You know what I think? I try to play with the trivial issue. I come to the real one. I think these are the people that we should be talking of. These are the matter we should be talking of, which is the headline. The guy said he collected $3 million in cash from Emefiele for dispatch, a dispatch rider. He tell God that thing. That man don't go. But this is hearsay. Hello? This is hearsay. You cannot tell us that we can trust the credibility because the court the question is, the court going to take this as a witness, as an evidence, or as a hearsay? This is a very important thing here. You understand? Hearsay. The man says so. What proof do we got? Where's the money? How do we know Emefiele didn't give you that kind of money? But he has testified in court. But perhaps this is the kind of case we should be talking about. Emefiele, what did you do to our money? This is a time when Nigeria is in need. We need money. We need money for growth. We say we don't have money to give to people as good loan, long-term loan, because people like you are looting this block. And question I asked that has not been answered, was Emefiele the only one involved? Were their government, was the president aware? Are you saying Buhari was not aware of what Emefiele was doing? None of the ministers were aware of what Emefiele was doing? Even for negligence alone of our money, the Buhari should be held accountable. For him to be there and the CBN governor abuse our money in this way, we need to hold him accountable. Because we gave him the office of the president to run the affairs of Nigeria. And the financial sector is the key. If you are there and the CBN governor abuse us this way, you should be accountable. You should be answering questions. I know that the CBN governor got some permission. We don't know yet. I'm saying I know, not that I can prove this, so don't take me to court for that. The one that will take me go court, when I call me. But when I say now, let this match up the money. President no know, minister no know. This is not country, there's God though. Jonathan Bellet's wife said, Peche said, there is God though, now let you come. Now only Emefiele come. Now only Emefiele chop this money. Nah, Princess Mona talk oh, now only Emefiele. Now Emefiele is the scapegoat. Make we kill her. But who eat the money with her?
Make him talk now, and I know who follow
We should take statements now. Since he's not the only one, why is he silent about it? You should talk about it. Call other people names that are involved.
Yeah.
Fact,
somebody, like I said yesterday,
yes,
somebody
right.
has to be responsible. So he's the one responsible.
He's the victim, yes. So if he feels other people are part of it, he should come out and speak out. Instead of
but what I'm saying now is that by implication, the country was handed over to Buhari. Buhari was there when all this thing was happening. Was he sleeping?
But have you heard anybody called Buhari's name? His name has been kept.
But that's what I'm saying now. But from what we know, he's our president. The country was under his control. So he's the one we want to hold accountable first.
But Buhari never knows anything that's happening in the country. You know that. He's never aware of anything happening.
I didn't know that. Because when he was going for treatment, I didn't know that. He was spending our money for treatment. They were doing a lot of things. Baba know that. There were a lot of things that were mishappening. Are you saying Baba was not aware of any of the misappropriation of funds? There's God though. Anyway, that is what Punch is still doing.
That the case again, the dispatch rider that testified in court against Emefiele. My question is it because he said he never rewarded him? So is it because he never rewarded him that he went to testify against him in the court?
That's another question.
But that's just it now. If you had been getting money from it, if Emefiele was not greedy and selfish, all this thing will not be happening, right? So it's because that one feels cheated, and that's why it's coming out to talk about him right now.
He wanted to.
Yes, so even that man too is not innocent. But if he had gotten his own share, he would have kept silent.
Anyway, I wouldn't want us to. I want us to take a look at so that we can see more of the papers today. Can we take another paper? Look, I know we have. I don't want to remember what Junior Pope, what the director, is it the Directors Guild of Nigeria president?
Directors Guild.
No, this is DGN. That is the Directors Guild. I don't know what Victor has said there. I mean, Victor is my man, but why is he following what AGM has said? They are two different bodies. AGN is the Actors Guild of Nigeria. DGN is the Directors Guild of Nigeria. From what I see here, DGN is the president here, and I'm not too impressed with that. Really not impressed with that speech. Anyway,
At this
when
point,
I
they're actually fighting each other, and which is actually a wrong thing to do because they are fighting each other, a lot of confusion, and just like what
He's saying that the producer of that movie actually risked ban. So we've seen so far that, of course, the Actors Guild, the president, Emeka Rollas already, did came up with a statement, and all of them they are now pulling their head. But I just feel like there's a saying that when the head is bad, nothing becomes of the body. I
that's
just
true.
feel like the whole Nollywood actually need overhauling. It's not about what Adama Luke did. We've been seeing like I know that Kelechi Okafor, one of the survivor. I know that is
became so
somebody that has some kind of energy that used to talk so much. But he did say also that there are other there've been other accidents, just that maybe somebody didn't die, so they were not really out and all that. So I'm thinking that the whole industry, they should sit up. And another thing I've seen so far in Nollywood is so many gigs, so many bodies, so many gigs here and there. So if all these presidents, these people can actually come together, they should sit down and redefine what Nollywood is. Define every under Nollywood. We know we have different departments or different bodies. They should define all these things and have a constitution. That also will
Princess,
help. In as much as we're holding the government responsible for not putting things in place, oh, government did not do this and all that, they also, as the head in this sector, they have a lot to do as well. We
thank
are
you.
all blaming Adama Look. Of course, she's the producer of the movies, but we know that other producers, they've done things before. But the only difference here is just that apparently those ones did not actually lead to death. And so I really, like I said already, she already submitted herself to the police for investigation. And of course, she would have told her own side of the story. But in all this, this will not even bring the dead. These people, that 5 people actually died, this will not bring them back. We can
Yeah,
already see that. I saw the makeup artist, the mother. I couldn't look at that picture because I understand what pain is. I understand what losing a loved one actually is. And so I saw that video yesterday of a nurse trying to create content for herself, trying to tell us the condition of Pope's wife. Like I said, and so all these people, even the nurse, she should be fired. She should be, her certificate should be withdrawn. As a nurse, you're supposed to actually focus on the life of a person. You're doing selfie, you're doing video. Like I'm really exhausted.
all right. Well, our guest is here, Engineer Uwa is in the house. I'm going to add him shortly. While we look at that, we're gonna. I know we're gonna go into Edo proper today because I really wanted us to sit with these Edo people, those people who are busy firing people. But let's be sure that Engineer, your stuff is your network is up and on, Engineer. Let's see whether we can get Engineer. Engineer, you're welcome to SRTV Wake Up Weekly Bulletin.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. So fortunately, the network is
Can you speak louder,
just
please? We can
stable,
hear you.
but I'm yeah, good morning.
We cannot hear you, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Can you hear me?
Better, but I think you need to speak louder. What's going on? Audio is
No,
really low.
no, Daddy Chris. I think the place, there's so much breeze around where you are. If you can just change the position, that will help.
Yeah, there's that discussion. We really need to spend some time with you people in Edo today. If you can just get your things together, we will be sharing some beautiful moment with you. Engineer, can you hear us? All right, we will give Engineer the next few minutes to settle to sort his self. Princess, if you can help him out with some backdoor stuff that will help. While we take a look at another paper quickly, do we have time to look at all of them, or which one can we take a look at now? If we can get the engineer back, that would be great. Can you just? I know Princess will do some work with the engineer. So, Abuja, can we take a look more at another paper? Why they're doing that?
Okay, let's take the Guardian.
All right.
The big headline of the Guardian says Rumpers in Tinubu's Lagos ahead of council cruise. And that story is on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper. And there's
I
a
don't
story
know.
that says, showcasing women who are breaking glass ceiling, inspiring others. And it's coming from the Guardian Women on page 13 of the Guardian newspaper.
I think I'm
Why?
having the wrong papers today. Oh.
I think you didn't download the today's own.
What a disaster. Then don't worry, I'll validate them. All right, go on.
Why traditional birth attendants, prayer houses still strive as delivery facility in Nigeria. And you can find that story on page 24 and 25 of the Guardian newspaper. And there's a story that says Olakulehin nominated as 43rd Olubadan, and that story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. There's a story that says new national ID card to be issued through banks, says NIMC, and that's on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. And we have a story that says Okwama, 17 military arrests, 3 community leaders recover assorted arms, speedboats, and you can find that story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. We have a story that says Owowo emerges first female Nigerian officer cadet, graduates from UK RMAS, and that's on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. We have a story that says a minister says measures on to address oil shortfall, and that's on page 28 of the Guardian newspaper. And these are all the stories we have this morning on the Guardian.
All right. Could it be the very paper that is on the screen now? No, we're going to cover some people right now. This must be it, right? Is that right?
Okay, yeah, that's the paper.
All right, good. Let me add the door quickly back while we are waiting for Engineer Uwa to join us back. We take a look at this. And once we have Engineer Uwa, we're going to go on a quick break. That's what I wanted to do. But let's take a look at this paper first. Oh, Upetu. Is that what I can see a woman here, the traditional birth attendant prayer. Prayer house still thrive as delivery facilities in Nigeria. You hear what they talk? So somebody wife won't born will carry and go church. Is this a prayer house or our traditional one? Traditional one is different though. Why traditional birth attendant is one, but prayer house is another thing. So there are 3 things here. Is it the traditional one that we are still using? Because that woman that was equally paid should have gone to here there. Is that what these women are telling me? Because look at this woman here. She has one. What is he using to read there? To read the baby heartbeat. May God save us. In fact, these things it should be banned. But the traditional one, yes. So much noise from who? Okay, we're getting so much noise. All right. What I'm saying is, this is a little bit disturbing for me. Why traditional birth attendants, prayer house?
Still strive as delivery
Those are the
facility.
2 things.
But we have a lot of women that believes in this. They'll tell you that some women are spiritual. They are nurses and they are
I wasn't
spiritual.
born in the hospital, so I wouldn't be saying the traditional one is all stupid. So, but the
I
prayer
don't think
house.
it's about spirituality. Yes, I don't think it's about spirituality. We all grew up. Now, fine, we have hospitals who are giving birth in the hospitals. But I think before
Not
now,
me.
there were
Not me,
women.
princess.
There's
I
a
wasn't giving
particular
birth to a
name.
hospital.
They,
I wasn't
yes, they
giving birth to a
were. They
hospital.
were.
Now,
It
now
was,
they're born for hospital. Now, where they here? They're not born me for hospital.
yes, there's this particular name you call them here in Delta, especially the Yoruba speaking part, where those people that actually massage the body. Some of these women actually have their experts in that, and we know that prior to this time, where we now have hospitals, doctors everywhere. Because even recently, I was just speaking to my sister-in-law on it that there was a particular lady way back. My mother said used to like give birth to women and all, help women deliver and all that. That
Yes, yes,
is
yes.
actually she was very good then at it. And then there's one too close to my house. They were very good at it. I don't know how they do it, but they are traditional
No,
people, not
these are
like Juju
technology.
per se will
Those
say
are
this is
technology.
yes.
It wasn't spiritual. They give you that. In fact, there's something one white chalk. Is it what how do you call that? They use it to rub the. I mean, I grew up in this traditional setting. They will use it
That's
to
why there
rub.
are people that believes in them. Why some people do not
Not
believe in?
believe. He said it was working. It was still working, but it's different from the prayer house. The prayer house is the one I don't understand. You understand? Maybe I am too. I'm too. My faith is too blind to understand this. I agree. If you believe in the traditional one, it helps. Use all of them, But the doctors are more. You see what? You see, Princess. Why I'm confused is the science. Science is the same everywhere. The method of doing things in Nigeria, you will be surprised. You will be shocked that the same thing that the traditional one is using there is what medicine is using. I mean, the orthodox medicine is using. They are not different. It's just that they may be slight because our people couldn't write. They could not define the component of what they are applying. There they can write. They can tell us what exactly it is. So that is understandable. But I think the law of physics is the same. The component of paracetamol is going to be the same if you want to treat anybody from headache. You understand? Otherwise, it will work. Or maybe it's not only paracetamol that can cure headache. There are other medicines. If you don't use paracetamol, use something, use Panadol. The component may be different, but they all do the same thing. So the African method does work. The question I ask is, does the spiritual one work?
There's something, my opinion, there's, something when we say African method, that's one. When we say, the church or the spiritual people, I don't, except of course, you have doctors who are like the doctor we always bring here, Dr. Akpodete, who is the priest. But he said here the other day that there are cases he will tell you that even when people come to him as a priest, priest, pray for me, I will sow a seed, I need to get well. He used to tell them, please see a doctor. Now, there is God actually gave wisdom for these things. Go to the hospital, go for treatments and all that. So I think it has to do with, people's mindset, like what Mary is saying. A lot of people, would actually is what they believe in. And I don't see the understanding where a particular prophetess or a prophet is not actually a medical personnel, or is not vast or abreast with medical issues, and you take yourself there to deliver. That is something I'm still trying so hard to comprehend. To
In fact,
comprehend.
those people should be in prison. That is a crime. Nigerian government should be arrested. It's a simple thing. If you know, you have a way of getting women to deliver, and you cannot prove it scientifically, that to our understanding, and you put women at risk, you go into prison. And these are the things we say. When I say government, people think it's a private person cannot do this. And I can understand. Princess, you do go to church. I know you are a woman of God. You do preach in the church. How do you take this between finding your spirituality and the medicine that is God now revealed to us? The question I always ask is, if God gives you eye to see, why did God give you eye? Is it not to see so that you can prevent yourself? And now you see the danger, you say it doesn't matter, God is going to come and do it? That's my question here, please.
There's nothing. There's no spirituality when this issue of health is concerned. When you don't feel well, go to the hospital. Go and get checked up. In the case of this, we call them traditional birth attendants, TBAs. We've come to the point to know that we cannot remove them from our society. It is part of who we are. When I served in Yobe, you have situation of people who will go for antenatal from 0 to 9 point something months. On the day of delivery, they will not go to the hospital. They will call these TBAs to come and give birth, help them deliver the baby at home, saying real woman na they born for house, that kind of thing. So
Right.
in those states, yeah, what they've been doing for a while is they've been having conferences, lectures, associations to bring these traditional birth attendants together. So if you're a traditional birth attendant, you must be registered. The government must know your practices. They must know how you do it. You will come for training, retraining. So there are some things that they will let you know that this thing we done is not accepted, this one is accepted. So there's a regulatory body this way. You have registered traditional birth attendants where they can regulate what they do, because you cannot remove them from our society.
Yeah, I
But when you
agree.
now come to spiritual houses, now doing the work of TBAs and hospitals is really very weird. There's a church that was near my sister's house, a very, very big church. They now have another house where they attend to pregnant women. They don't go to the hospital. And I think they also attend to insane people there too. Now, the interesting thing about this, the irony, the beauty, I don't know how you call it because it's a sad one. The general overseer's wife died there, kind of died because of that place. Now, she was pregnant and she wanted to give birth. That's where they do the antenatal and all that. So, but that they were praying, no, I don't know what it is, the spiritual giving birth they do there. And the baby was preached. So the baby brought his hand out, breach where the baby lie down side
Yes,
like this.
yes.
So the baby brought his hand out. Vis-a-vis transverse. He brought his hand out. So yeah, transverse. He brought his hand out. So they did not. In short, it was so bad. The lady was bleeding. The lady was going. These spiritual people now at the point where they could no longer handle it, they now carried the woman and were rushing her to the conventional hospital, and that's where she passed out. She
You
died.
see, and that is
And
because if it were to be a real hospital, they would have maybe do
yes,
you know.
yes. What I'm trying to say is that whatever practice they are doing, that you are doing, there are some things that are illegal. Let's not hide behind church or behind spirituality or behind whatever. If you're a traditional birth attendant, that is part of our culture. It's part of who we are. Now there's orthodox medicine. There's a way the government now try to marry it together, because you cannot say traditional birth attendance should go away. You are wasting your time. You understand? Some people believe in that. So there's a regulatory body that brings them together. Traditional birth attendants regulate their practices, see what they do. Even they now have do's and don'ts. But when you now carry church or you now carry spirituality, I don't know what they carry, because the Bible do not send us that kind of thing. When you now carry spirituality and bring it, that means it's another thing you are doing. You do not even have respect for the life that you are handling. My GP doctor, then my family doctor, is in somewhere in the Arab countries now. He is a pastor. He's a pastor, but he's my doctor. So for every delivery I go to, I first of all go there. It was in UBTH. Then it's the one that will now refer you to your consultant, your gynecologist, that will now attend to you in the antenatal clinic. Is the one I always meet first. He's a pastor. Like he scheduled. He just told me that I must wait 4 years before I have my next child. And somehow, according to that decrease, the playboy score. He don't reach 4 years, and I was like,
Yeah.
Doc, I'm pregnant, and he was like, you are going for another CS. I said, I'm not going. I'm telling you, I'm.
All right. All right. We're going to have Princess back shortly. And I thought this is a good time to go on a quick break as well. And when we come back, we're going to make the show as 1 hour, 30 minutes should be enough for today. Let's have a quick break. When we come back, we take a look at this antenatal issue. Because one thing that surprised me, and I want us to take a look at the activities of these select churches. The select people in particular. Have you seen the select church? In fact, then Africa and Sele and every religion put together, whether than Christianity, where they
I think select church, but we are now seeing ministries. It's so worrisome that the Chris over here in Nigeria. The rate, I'm not talking about the Sunday churches. Now there are a group of people calling themselves pastor, ministers, evangelists,
Prophet.
or prophetess. Yes, that's the word, prophetess and prophets. They now run ministries on maybe any week they like. So you see people, actually going. I have a case right now here where I am. A lady that is a prophetess. She has so many members, and she just moved out of her husband's house yesterday. I was telling my sister-in-law, but
Ah,
the members are so many. They are still going with her. They are still taking their family issues to her. She couldn't resolve her own. She's so disrespectful. You needed to see the way she was talking to her husband, and
okay.
and of course, because she's from the royal family, they felt like, okay, she can work on people's head. And you see the way at which this year member really carry these people. I don't understand the level of brainwash that they have been brainwashed. I study the
Because
Bible.
there's
Nobody tells me.
situation.
I know the what is right and what is bad. And so, how come as an adult people are being brainwashed? Human beings are calling themselves prophetess and
It's so annoying. It's so annoying because no matter the
It
bad thing you
it
do
is
as a prophet,
scary. It's
Nigerian
not
people will
no,
never
it is
agree that you're
scary.
wrong.
Actually, there are two
No
It
matter
sets
is
of
no matter
scary.
what you are doing, even if they know that you're doing something bad, but as long as you can see, that's why they
It
will
is
rush and pack all their families to that place. I don't know why
it
they
is
want
scary, Mary. It's not annoying, it's scary. We
but
are
the thing
talking
that two
about
sets of that you
people.
cannot
If you see
adapt.
the select, if you see most of the select churches, eh? Hey, if my wife go there, no, it's not coming back to my house. Some of these women, you can't go there and come back to my house. No, sometimes you can tell that, and I know the women are always now be the first victim.
they're
Now,
looking
the
for
2 years
solution.
ago,
Solution for what? Why you can ask
And
which
you can never
solution?
advise them.
You
of
cannot come on
course,
your
Mary,
own.
women are always the victim. I'm a woman, and that is the
Don't
truth.
forgive me, oh, I
Women
don't
are
fancy
always the
wife.
victim.
I don't
no,
fancy
They're
wife.
either looking for a
For which
child, they are looking
solution?
for a husband, or they are looking for something. And because of that quest, they go from one place to another.
You know
That is
that
the
they
no,
see
issue.
the
And
prophecy
then
for
you
let
you.
see
me,
people
They
that
are
let me
just
tell
they
you.
don't
you
have a
see, you
solution.
see, you see these ministries. You see these ministries where women now, like what Princess was saying, you see a ministry, and the worst thing they are supposed, if they're even sensible, they should have doctors on ground that, okay, since we have a ministry, we can pray and also attend to them, even though it's illegal. Let it be a qualified doctor. They
Princess,
don't do that. They just
princess,
believe when they
Catholic
say
Church. Don't you see
prayer,
Catholic Church
prayer,
having
go on, come,
hospital?
and the
Oh,
person
sorry,
comes out.
sorry, princess. Oh, Catholic Church, Baptist Church, they have hospitals, right?
Sure.
Yes, they
Yes.
They have
do.
hospitals. So
They
how
do.
come those people that brought Christianity to us have their own hospital and they still respect the hospitals? And you that taught the religion, you tell us
And
Daddy
you
Chris,
have
let me shock you.
and
Daddy
even
Chris, let me
nowadays,
shock you.
they go to the
There's
hospitals.
a
The members don't.
there which of there's I think my for my daughter, I was going my second pregnancy. I was going for antenatal. I was ready due, and the doctors went on strike. So I registered in UBTH and they went on strike. So I called my NHIS service provider and they referred me to another hospital. And I went to the hospital and the first doctor I met there said, if you meet 40 weeks, just come and meet me. I'm going to schedule you for CS. I was like, okay. Now I met 40 weeks and I went back. I didn't see the doctor. It's a private hospital. I didn't see the doctor. And I met another doctor and he was like, don't worry, come back again next week. I was like, no. Do you know that they said if in the hospital they have a policy that if they are going to do CS for you, they don't do blood transfusion in that hospital.
Aye,
So if they are going to do surgery, they are going to do surgery, you
no
just
blood
better
transfusion.
raise your PCV because they will not do
Princess,
blood transfusion.
interesting story, but I can't hear her. Is it just me or everyone?
No, we can hear her.
Can you
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
me?
It's you,
Right.
princess. We can't even see your
So
network, princess. Yeah.
so
Go
there's
on, what with you?
that hospital, a very big hospital. I can't call their name. A very big,
I really
and
want to
I
hear Princess. So I don't know why I cannot hear Princess.
And we can, and she can hear you. We can hear you,
so
princess.
We can hear
I
you.
can hear you. So at the end of the
Okay.
day,
All right.
I had to. God just saved me, but I knew I wasn't going to use. I wasn't going to do blood transfusion. I told my husband I will not use blood transfusion. But you cannot tell the doctors what to do.
Yes.
They know what to do. Yes, and God so kind, God helping me. my PCV was okay. I already knew I would not use blood transfusion, but you must have blood transfusion. I did nursing, auxiliary nursing anyway. I did a little practice a while, so I know
Yes.
that this thing should be in place. So they called off the strike, and they were still working skeletally in UBTH. So when I left the hospital that day, I called my sister and she was like, just go to antenatal, you will see emergency doctors. So I walked down, I went back to UBTH, and as soon as I got in there, they scheduled me for CS immediately. I was already in labor, I didn't even know. So we were back home,
Yeah.
the fees of 90s.
We're not
So
too strong,
immediately
man. Not black woman.
they scheduled me for CS, and long story short, my husband and my sister, they were running up and down. They had to get 2 pints of blood down before they start the operation and all those stuff. So before they went and came back, they already done it. I gave him put to bed, and I didn't use the blood eventually. But it had to be there, because if after the surgery, your blood volume goes down low, they need to raise it up immediately to avoid complications. But while
Princess,
you are talking about these spiritual
princess,
houses,
let me hear
not
one thing
having
first.
doctors and all that. There are also some medical orthodox medical this thing that are advanced spiritual houses, like this big hospital that are saying they will not use blood because of their spiritual their religious
The
inclination.
Jehovah Witness don't do it. The Jehovah Witness, they don't do blood transfusion. Don't go there. I already said to them, and it's illegal.
I not call name. Oh, this is an
It's
hospital. If
illegal.
you like, don't do blood for yourself. But you are treating other people's lives. So assuming I had not worked my PCV up, or something happened and I want to give birth there, this is an hospital
But
certified, even
that would
NSI
be
certified.
in fact, Nigeria should be careful. You see, this is why we talk about the regulation. The government must protect us here. You cannot practice a hospital, because I wouldn't know that is the policy of the hospital. If I probably rushed my wife there, and I thinking that they're treating her, and all of a sudden, maybe at the emergency stage, they're telling me, oh, they cannot do blood transfusion. In fact, I will cut the whole of their neck. And another thing you see here.
I missed that part of the story. So, Princess, there's an hospital that actually their policy they don't give blood.
Yes, that's what she's
Yes,
saying.
I was shocked. They,
No,
they,
Princess,
they just told me.
I think you
I
should
was shocked.
actually sue them. Take
Agree.
them to court. No, they should not be existing. They should not be operating.
I
No,
agree.
that's actually wrong.
I agree.
I understand that the Jehovah Witness is their thing. I've been in the hospital. I was admitted, and the next word, there's a little girl there that she's a sickle cell, and I don't know what happened. The dad, they are no longer together, and the mom was saying the doctor said they need blood, and the dad said no, they don't need blood. He can't. He's a Jehovah Witness. He doesn't want that. And the next thing, after like a day or two, the baby actually a big girl, like 10 or maybe 12 years, she actually died. And it was not easy there. I even had to leave because the way these people were fighting at the hospital, the two of them. And this shows that the fact that you do not need blood is fine. But if I need blood, you won't tell me whether not to take the blood. That is just the truth. And so such hospitals should not be operating.
Yes, they should be. I agree with you, Princess. That's where I say the government, they should be struck off. They should stop. Their license revoked. Anyway, you know something I heard now, Princess. Sorry, and when I heard that you also have to run looking for blood. So we don't have blood bank in Nigeria. May God save us.
They were on strike.
Look at the blood bank were on strike.
People, the hospital people, medical people, those they are doctor strikes now. It was one of those
No,
strikes.
but when you go to the NHS, when you go to UBT, you're saying that even your husband have to run and look for blood prepared.
Yes,
Anyway.
and again it was like it was in the night, and they just called off the strike, so they had not actually resumed work.
Okay.
So the hospital was functioning skeletally.
All right. So we're gonna go on the
and I think also, Princess, there's a particular blood group they don't keep. I don't know, but the other day, here they were. My sister-in-law, I think her own sister-in-law, the brother's wife, needed blood. There's something that's happening to her that her medicines won't stop, and now they are saying it's very risky. They are trying to stop it. Meanwhile, she needs blood, and there's a particular blood they were looking for. Is it O positive? I can't remember.
I am O blood O positive.
Hospital.
That kind of one will be difficult to be stored. Don't scare me.
No, there's a particular one that's difficult. There's a particular.
Okay.
Yes, it's difficult. So because all the blood bank and they said she needed fresh blood. And so we started calling everybody, what's your blood group? Funny enough, a lot of people do not even know. And they tell you, I don't know, and all that. And the people were able to see, they will tell you also that they are actually, not eating well, they've not been feeding well, they are not fit enough to give blood. But eventually she actually scaled through. We saw 2 persons or 3 persons that actually did, and she actually got and she's now stable to an extent. So I think that these issues should be, anything that has to do with health, to do with our safety, should actually be taken very seriously.
And that is why we keep saying, sorry, doctor, that's why we keep saying that when we come to prosecuting the producer for that mistake, we should be prosecuting authorities like this. These are all life-threatening practices that we all do. Until somebody dies, we will not know. You understand? We should regulate the activities of our churches, of our hospitals. You understand? And because women, in fact, women, a true society protects women against themselves. Sorry, this is the truth. You are so vulnerable sometimes that the things you guys put us through, I'm talking now, no, the feminist women will kill me today for how could I class women that way. But I'm really worried. I'll go to church because my wife, I want peace. I'll follow her to church on Sunday, and then I will come home, they give me Sunday rice and I sleep. If I don't go, it's talking. So I go. But when I go, don't tell me some other story. And I know God. But we'll talk that another day. But for you to go to a woman, you go to a hospital and they say they say you don't need a church. They say you don't need hospital. These people that brought church to us, the Catholic, the Baptist, the Medicine, they have their own churches. They were the first people to introduce Orthodox medicine in Nigeria. In fact, they introduced schools and hospitals. If you see today in Nigeria, the Catholic hospitals are number 1. And most of these, what do you call them, the Reverend Sisters, they're all medical doctors or nurses. They're the one treating you. So how come these people practice medicine? And then, do you know God more than them? That is the thing I don't understand about Nigerians.
No, in the whole universe, the world, now Nigerians know God pass to Daddy Chris. Don't go there because these people here, come here, take it so serious.
That's how my
They
cousin.
go to church a lot and they pay a lot of things a lot.
I know.
Kudos to them, a lot of them are really trying.
And that is why you see now. Look at another story. Where I don't want to go back to that. But I don't think we have more time to do more things, so we can just round up like this. I wanted to go on a quick break, but I don't think there's time for that. The issue of the Pope, the junior Pope that died. There's still a law now that says somebody die, you'll be buried on that side of the river. It's their custom and tradition, which is respectable. If you belong to the community and you submit to the custom and tradition, that is it. But the Nigerian law supersedes all that. You understand? The Nigerian law is what comes first. So if you want to get married, I always say to people, if you marry in the court, your husband marry another wife, it's bigamy, punishable by 10 years. But if you go marry for tradition and custom, you've surrendered to that law. So your man can marry 10. It's allowed. I don't think it's anything wrong marrying more than 1 wife anyway. I know women here don't like that. But I have to say, the Arab are doing it. Nobody's fighting them. A Muslim is entitled to 4 wives. Nobody's saying anything. If I say I marry more than 1, that will kill me. But Muslim man that stay with you there, he has 4 wives. Is it not a culture? Why are you not fronting at that?
I actually think yes. No, we get to that at the Chris, but when we talk about John Pond issue on the riverside burial and all that, I think what because I've been trying to ask, I've been calling us about. So at the end of the day, if you are not from that particular place, so there are sacrifices to be done before the person can be buried elsewhere. And that is what somebody is saying, that if you are not from that community, they can actually just come and take the person, but you must make sure that these sacrifices are done before the person is buried.
If not done, what's going to happen? Princess, what's going to happen?
No, that is where you have
everybody has their own tradition.
I agree. For me,
yes, you have your own tradition in your place. You cannot go against
when white people came, when we were telling them about of our tradition, they were laughing at us because that thing didn't affect them.
We cannot allow the white
It's
men's
not
way
going to
to
affect me, princess, if I'm
overcloud
not
us,
from
sir.
that
We have
mindset.
our traditions and law. We
Daddy,
have our
please
culture.
don't forget
We
that.
have to
Daddy, please
respect
don't
that.
forget that we are Africans, we are Nigerian, we have tradition, we have customs.
Everybody
Agree.
Just
has
as
their own
much as
culture.
we're
So you
trying
cannot
to
tell me that you neglect
copy
people's
the
culture because
Western
you
life.
don't believe in the white man. It's not
But
done that
princess,
way.
what I'm saying is the Nigerian law did not say if I die by the river, I must be buried there.
But
If
it
I
has
don't
been
want my
there.
person to
It
be
has
buried
been
there,
there.
It
That
is
law
you
has
are
been
not,
there for long.
you're not
Daddy,
bringing that to my book.
I don't think it's every river in Nigeria. I think there are even in this place I am right now, this land in Delta. Once you die in the river, you're supposed to be buried beside the river.
That's
It's
what they do in my
binding
place
here,
too.
but I think that is for people from here. And so, if you are to be taken away, maybe you are from the west or the east. That means you need to do a certain sacrifice to appease the certain goddess or a god or a deity before that person is buried elsewhere.
In
This is
Niger
what
State, if
is
you die by the
obtainable.
river,
This
you'll
is
be
what
buried
they're
by the river.
saying.
It's so interesting to see that the same Nigeria where they go to church every day, they clap on Sunday, they still talk about this. I don't know where we are as a people, really.
So the truth is
I'm
that
not going to debate
I
that.
don't know when you talk about people's
That
culture.
is the truth is that if you go to some of these Catholic churches, I'm aware of priests, fathers that will ask you if you want to get married. There are bands of marriage to be called, there are protocols, but they ask you, where are you from? Tell us your parents' name. And some of the priests, they go as far as calling your community. Do you know this person? Is getting married to this person. And they make sure that the tradition is settled before that. And so
Sure.
you're
Yes.
actually from somewhere. You didn't fall from
No, no,
yes, you
no.
didn't fall
And
from
Princess,
heaven.
Christianity has not come to change tradition, sir.
no,
There are a lot of people that culture
it has
remain, like it
changed
has
a
been
lot,
there.
daughter. He has changed everything about us. But
It has not changed.
when it
There are
comes
some
to
culture that is
compliments like
rigid
this,
that cannot be changed. I know
you
what
know
I'm
what?
saying.
You know what would have
That is not true, Daddy Chris. You know why? I know you are talking about marrying more than one wife, but don't forget also that we have people here in Nigeria. They've been marrying so many wives. Away from Islam now, we're even talking about Christianity, where they have 2, 3 wives, right? And so that tradition is still binding. I think we live in a society where people are not even able to cater for themselves. Let's say no, 1, 2, 3 wives, and so
That's
people
just
tend to do one at a time. But we know also that even when Christianity preaches one man, one wife, a lot of people also are not even interested. They tell you women are problem, not to talk of when you get two. But we know also, regardless, people are still having 2, 3. It doesn't stop there. Go to the so-called speaking part of Delta. You even see a young able man marrying 2 at the same day.
no,
It's
he
a
was
trend
kissing
now.
too. That
And
just
then
someone on my face on my
the women
WhatsApp. He was
also
kissing the
actually
two at once.
embracing it.
Princess, this guy was kissing the two at once in the marriage. He put the two on the kiss two of them.
Is what I'm trying to explain, sir. There are people, even the younger generation now, my generation, that actually applauding or embracing it now. But left for some of us or some people, they tell you it's something I cannot do. I'm a Christian. We understand that. I remember when the Yule Edochie issue came out. When the wife eventually spoke, she said, "My tradition is against it, and I am my religion." That was the word she used, and so
yes.
that is her own. Meanwhile, another person will want to jump into this, and then of course we saw the likes of Regina Daniels that also did her own. The man, of course, Ned is a married man. She did. She even went through the traditional process of all that ritual of being a full housewife. And so I think it has to do with decision. Don't blame it all the time on religion, saying religion is this or that. I don't think it's the religion, sir.
Princess,
It's
I
really
hear
the
you.
people.
I'm
Let's
not
leave
blaming it on
religion.
religion. I'm just saying, I'm an Africanist. You understand? So I believe in the African culture. But sometimes I'm surprised that the same place where we don't agree with the culture, when it comes to say we say the African has a culture, in some place it doesn't have a culture. Religion will wipe the culture, and then it will wipe the culture on important area like the medicine. I believe in the African traditional medicine. Like I said, I wasn't born in the hospital. So there must be 1 or 2 things that our forefathers know that they used to treat themselves. I don't believe these people were not dying. They were where they were treating themselves before this Oyibo medicine came. So I agree with some of those practices, but it should be regulated and there should be improvement. In fact, there should be practice in a more civilized way. The Chinese have their own medicine. Come here, I'll take you to Chinese place where they give you some stupid things and they call it their medicine. If you believe it will cure you. Chinese, so it's not I'm not talking of the hospital, Chinese. So everybody will have their own. Africans should not be neglected. If you people can embrace that, then embrace the African religion, embrace the African marriage system, don't bastardize one. because our own is never going to be inferior. May God save us, because I know women, I'm not going to be able to defeat any of you here. If they open that mouth, I will run. So we will take her easy.
Not everyone accepts polygamy, and you cannot force polygamy on people. A lot of people
But
is against their faith. Nobody wants to wear two wives in the church.
against which faith? Against which faith? Against which faith? Against the Catholic faith? Against which faith? Against the Muslim faith?
There is
Against
no
Nigerian
church
law?
that wants to wear the man with two wives. For crying
At
out
the
loud.
end of the day, there is only one thing we recognize in Nigerian law, which says one man, one wife. However, if you don't go to court, you can marry as many as you want. We'll come to that. That, in fact, the society is at peace in that. Well, my ladies, I want to thank you all for joining this morning show. It's been a long one. I thought we could have a break, but we've not. I want you people to break up from today so you have some good time rest, preparing for Monday. Go and wash your clothes, go out, eat some good food. I said that I'm still gonna take some of you in the meeting. But hey,
Like when you say this, it looks as if we are closing now. Please tell them we are still working. Go and wash your clothes here. We are still here.
no, the truth is some people will be going off now. Once I sign off, they will disappear, and I will not know them again. They know. So I'm not going to fight you. I'm saying it's a very beautiful week. We've had a successful week. Thank you all, and I'm proud of you. We're growing as a platform, and the world is watching us. Let's keep it up, and we thank everybody for watching us. Let me just quickly mention that we have something coming up very soon, and I said I'll use the last minute to just quickly talk about it. It's called the Nigerian Week, and that is the promo we've been playing. Nigerian Week is it's a weekly, it's a week long event where it's a yearly event, but it's week long, where we celebrate Nigerians in the UK. It's a big event, as big as it can be. And I want everybody to take note of that. What is this now? Oh, this is not what we want. Let's come here. All right. The event is coming up this year from July 22nd to the 28th. One full week. And what we have in stock is a lot. We're going to have a Moonlight Film Festival. I won't talk about that. We're going to have the African Fashion Show. Of course, the Nigerian music is there. The cultural dance is another big aspect of it. But that is not all. We have the real estate exhibition. We have the oil and gas. But this is one part I really want to know. The agricultural sector in Nigeria. Why do we organize this event? So people in the diaspora, Nigeria at home can come together. Even the international community, those who want to invest in Nigeria can see the opportunity as we network and talk about it. So we're going to look at the real sector, the real estate sector, the agricultural sector, and one part which is close to my heart, this mine. Nigeria is so blessed. If you listen to those people, the geologists, they will tell you the potential of the Nigerian soil. We've not even touched any. We've only discovered one, which is oil. That's what has been surviving us for 60 years. Imagine if we discover everything on our soil. That's something we should be doing. The new generation should stop looking at only oil and look at the potential of the Nigerian state. And that is part of those things we'll be exploring in this week. What do we do best? We do also recognize those Nigerians who are making us proud. We call it the Recognition Award. That is one of those things that made it stand well last year when we did it, where we recognized a few Nigerians who are making us proud. We'll do that again, and nomination is ongoing at the moment. There's going to be a full press release on this. But hey, for your information, it is ongoing. If you know somebody that is doing great things in society, that is you are proud of, not because he's rich, because he's somebody that has made an impact. Define impact in your own book. If you convince us, like we always say, we don't have any scientific method of judging it. But if the society believes in this man and we look at what he has done and we are satisfied with it, we recognize him with an award. That is one of those things we do at this event, and it's coming up on the 27th of July this year. The date will not change. I pray you guys all come and let us celebrate Nigeria. That's all I'm going to say. So it's a lot happening. I'll be sharing this with you from time to time. And as you know, we'll be closing the show with the promo of the Nigerian Week, which is something we all been familiar with if you've been watching this show. So that is what it is, and I want to call on everybody, wherever you are, if you are part of Srtv, if you are not, to work with us to make this year a success. And I want to see you people, those of you in Srtv, Abuja, Edo, and Delta. I know Delta is already coming. All of you should come here. Let us celebrate Nigeria. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you. And so save your money. Don't use it to buy chewing-gum. I can see Abuja guests, they like chewing-gum. You know what is chewing-gum? Goody goody. Eh? Don't open that. I know what to do. Well, that's a good place to wrap the show. I'll say thank you very much for this wonderful time. We've done it again, as we always do it. Please, 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 let us be careful what we do in terms. Let's try to define. Let the government help us also to define our boundaries. There are things I cannot do. That's why we have a government. There are certain laws I cannot make. That's why we have a government. I cannot tell the hospital that must operate the one that must not operate. The government is there to do that. And there are certain practices that should not be allowed. Government is there to do that for us. And we as a people, I like we say we should be responsible citizens and do the right thing. Because only then can we open our mouth in the presence of God. Because we all believe in God, I know. So I like when I talk to Nigerians and I use God. If I talk to people in UK, it's all the time to go to hell. But Nigerians should believe in God. So you know you're going to talk to your God one day. What are you going to tell him? Just do the right thing. So God will always do the right thing for you. And I always say, there's no hard work God will not bless. That's where we close the show today. Thank you all for listening. And like Princess will always say, please follow us on our social media handles. Make your comment. We'd like to hear from you. And she will always say, give peace a chance. But I always say this, let us fight for justice. I hate peace. I love justice. I think with justice, there will be a good world for everyone. I think that is what God wants. God doesn't want just peace. God wants justice. So let us look for justice. If you see anything unjust in your area, please get up and say it. I leave you with one word again. Those of you that knows me, I say it a lot. For evil to exist, righteous men are busy doing nothing. Are you one of the righteous men doing nothing? Maybe that's why evil is still existing in our land. Do something about it. Have a brilliant weekend. Until Monday when we see you again. God bless you. Bye.
Ooh la la! The second edition of the Nigerian Week London 2024 is here.
It's another blend of arts and culture, entertainment, business, and networking activities.
A week-long extravaganza showcasing the best of Nigerian music, dance, craft, fashion, and businesses.
Taking place at the prestigious Lighthouse Theatre, 262-274 Camberwell Road, London, SE5 OAY. Date 22nd to 28 July 2024.
Tickets are available at eventbrite.com. For partnership and sponsorship, please visit superiorradioandtelevision.com
or call +4407 459 513 619 or +4420 3623 8755.
Email info@superiorradioandtelevision.com or visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com/Nigerian Week 2024.
Come and experience